Backlash.
Backlash. Backlash. Backlash.
Backlash.
Backlash.
Backlash.
Backlash.
Backlash.
Lord, I was born a rambling man, trying to make a living and doing the best I can.
What's up, everybody? Hope all y'all are doing undeniably fan-freaking-tastic out there. Welcome to another episode of Ring Ramblings. And folks, tonight is WWE's first PLE event post-WrestleMania for Backlash live in Tampa, Florida. And folks, man, a lot of things are coming to light right now. I know it's a hard time to process about what's going on in the current state of WWE and the TKO land right now, but a lot of budget cuts going on. But man, the whole entire Wyatt Six are out. That's like 80% of the tag team title match from SummerSlam last year. They're gone. And heck, I never thought I would have seen the day where the New Day would have agreed to leave WWE themselves. But hey, we still got Grayson Waller though, so that's a different story to take a look at in the future. But hey, man, and I could go deep into that rabbit hole about how this is all TKO's fault and how this maybe sabotage at its purest form. But that's a discussion for another day, alright? In the meantime, let's just go ahead and ramble about these matches happening tonight, alright? So, first up, we got a match that should have happened at WrestleMania, and a match that should have happened already with somebody else around. I'm talking about Io Sky versus Asuka. And goodness gracious, like, without Kairi there, this feels very broken. Like, this is why everybody was wanting Kairi. Because you mean to tell me that we're building up this whole story of Asuka being mentally abusive to Kairi. We're seeing her on the verge of tears. We're seeing her being completely stressed out for her character. And you mean to tell me that there's no payoff? No happy ending for her? Only because somebody at TKO said, give Kairi the axe. That is depressing. That is why we want Kairi. We want Kairi to have a happy ending. We really, 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 really want Kairi to be involved in this match somehow. She deserves it. It's just morally ethical that she gets to finish her story. But with that in mind, like that is my only dream idea or my dream outcome for this match. Kairi Sane returns to help Io. Because I know for a fact that they're going to be chanting that all night. They're going to be chanting, we want Kairi, all night during this match. And I heard that shortly after she was released, she went back to Japan, and I'm hearing that that was her request anyway. But I'm not sure if that's entirely true or not, because you get lost in the amount of dirt sheets and whatever, and you don't know what's true and what's not anymore. We don't know who's leaking what information, because I haven't heard anything from Kairi herself, so we'll see how that plays out. Alright, next up we have ourselves a tag team match of The Miz teaming up with Kid Wilson, taking on the team of Danhausen and a mystery partner. Love the Danhausen. I heard that Danhausen has been having some kind of comedic interaction with this ESPN guy named Stephen A. Smith. And man, I really hope that I really hope that isn't the case. I really, really, really hope that isn't the case. Because it was bad enough that I was hearing rumors that we were supposed to be getting Jelly Roll and Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton and Pat McAfee tonight. Ugh. But I guess you lift one curse, you fall into another, right? Danhausen knows a thing or two about that. But, man, I wouldn't put it past WWE to put Steven Smith in there to be Danhausen's partner, but one person I'm kind of hoping it is, and I'm having a lot of doubts about this, but what if he teams up with Elton Prince? Like, I know he's been out with an injury, and I'm not sure how severe that injury is compared to where he is now in his recovery process, but either way, it doesn't matter. Whoever Danhausen is teaming up with, his team is winning, okay? I do not see the Miz and Kit Wilson walking out of this match with a W. Alright. Third, we got Seth frickin' Rollins versus Braun Breaker. Man, I gotta go with Braun Breaker all day on this one. Alright. So, this match is gonna be pretty interesting. Because I know Seth just came back from injury. Yes, he lost to Gunther WrestleMania. And Braun Breaker, he just came back from his injury as well. So, look, I'm not quite sure how this is going to play out, and I'm still kind of missing Bronson Reed in the process, but I feel like this match should do for Braun Breaker what it couldn't do for Seth Rollins back at WrestleMania 31. Alright, yeah, because I'm getting I'm kind of getting a similar vibe from that match with this one. Kinda. Alright. Yeah, because I remember Seth Rollins had a feud with Randy Orton back then, but I can't remember the entirety of the story heading into that match. But, yeah, I do remember Randy Orton won that match. I mean, granted, nobody knew that Seth was going to be cashing in the Money in the Bank that very same night, but still. Yeah, I'm going to give this one to Braun Breaker. Yeah, I'm going to give this one to Braun Breaker for the upset. Alright. You know, it won't even be an upset. Like, the dude's powerful. Like, you cannot call Braun Breaker winning anything an upset. Like, because there's always going to be that powerful factor. Braun Breaker is a beast for his size. And, yeah, him beating Seth Rollins is very likely. Very likely. Alright, next up. The United States Championship is being defended by Trick Williams, who takes on Sami Zayn. This story has kind of been hurting my heart, because I've been calling it since January. All right, and the fact that Sami Zayn is getting booed right now, man, it's just that domino effect. Because Sami Zayn shouldn't be getting booed right now the way he is. Sami Zayn should not be getting treated the way he is. And this is very, very, very severely depressing. No, I'm serious. It really is. Because, alright. We got a whole gingerbread man story going on. Don't get me wrong. I did like that diss track Trick and Lil Yachty put out. That was kind of fire. But it all goes back to that it all goes back to that fatal 4-way match that Sami Zayn was in for Saturday Night's Main Event. All right, it was to determine number one contendership before getting to the Royal Rumble. Sami Zayn won that fatal 4-way, even though I didn't want him to. Sami Zayn was supposed to lose that match and then walk into the Royal Rumble and win that in Saudi Arabia. But he didn't. And now we got that domino effect going on. Because he won that fatal 4-way, he wasn't in the Royal Rumble. Because he wasn't in the Royal Rumble, he couldn't compete for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Because he couldn't compete for the WWE Championship, he couldn't win it. And because he couldn't win it, here we are now. Now he's in this debacle with the United States Championship, and it also ruined poor Carmelo Hayes' movement. It ruined poor Carmelo Hayes' momentum in the process. So this whole Sami Zayn treatment right now, it's kind of breaking my heart. I mean, I'm proud for Trick Williams. Yes, I am. But this whole thing has kind of gotten a little bit overboard, and I'm really hoping that Sami Zayn can get back on his right track as soon as possible. The sooner, the better we can get Sami Zayn back on track, and hopefully find a way to get some redemption heading into WrestleMania next year. But I'm gonna go ahead and say give Trick Williams for the W on this one, but it's gonna be really, really painful. Really painful. Alright. And lastly, for the main event, the World Heavyweight Championship is being defended by Roman Reigns, who takes on Jacob Fatu. Man, this whole Roman Reigns debacle going on with the TKO thing, it's getting very, very mysterious. Alright. Like, I would not expect Roman Reigns to be a transitional champion post-WrestleMania, but here we are. That is starting to become a very good possibility. Because right now, everybody's coming out calling Roman Reigns a liar. A straight-up liar, because he said, oh, this whole part-time thing, you're going to be seeing me all summer, or something like that. And now, like, first, there was advertising that, yes, he was going to be there for Monday night for a few Raws in the month of June, but then somebody went back and said, no, he's not going to be there in June at all. So wait, what? Huh? You want to run that by me again, Chief? So, on top of that, like, with everything going on with the WWE and the TKO and Endeavor thing or whatever, I'm hearing that a lot of talent is being asked to accept budget cuts. And Roman Reigns, he's already one of those he's already one of those big money part-time talent guys, so he can be paid maximum income for limited appearances. That's how important he is, apparently. And heck, he said it himself. He's an unsigned billion-dollar check. It's in the archives. Go back and find it. That one's got me really curious. Like, was that true? Did that happen back in 2020 when he had to miss WrestleMania 36? I couldn't remember. That's something I'll take a look into later. But if there really is bad business deals going on between Roman Reigns, WWE, TKO, and whatever, then maybe him dropping the title tonight is a very big possibility. Because the writing's on the wall here. This is Roman Reigns' Bloodline OTC story 2.0. This is the sequel to the Bloodline story that ended back in WrestleMania 40. And nobody is saying the writing on the wall about how Roman Reigns thinks he can be the only champion of the Bloodline. Like, I'm surprised he didn't bring up how Jey Uso was a former champion and, hey, saying, Jey, you dropped the ball with this. Something like that. So, I don't see any reason why Jacob Fatu couldn't win that championship. I really don't see why he couldn't. The only reason why I would want Roman to win is if he would drop it to Oba coming up in SummerSlam. But we shall see. We shall see. Alright. But, yeah. No matter what, though, I'm going to go ahead and give this one to Jacob anyway. Only because the sooner we get this belt off of Roman, the better. Don't get me wrong, I like Roman. I do. I like the aura, I like the vibe. But still, like, it shouldn't feel right that if he's going to be part-timer again, like, and there's no telling where the heck CM Punk is. Maybe he's still nursing injuries, I'm not sure. But the whole thing going on with CM Punk right now, that's a little bit confusing in itself, because I know that man's got a mouth on him, and lately he's been saying like a lot of things about he's been saying a lot of things about what's going on with things behind the scenes or whatever. He's kind of been like leaving subliminal messages, and some of his promos have been getting cut for social media. So we'll see where it goes. Hopefully CM Punk isn't in trouble, And I know CM Punk is an expensive talent in his own right. So if there's anybody that's going to be leaving soon, I have a good feeling it's him. Because heck, even Cody Rhodes is starting to have a little bit of business trouble right now. Everything's up in the air. Alright. So, yeah. That concludes this episode of Ring Ramblings. Hope you all find the time to enjoy all the ads tonight. Sorry. All the matches tonight. And yeah. Until next time, make sure all of you remember to be outrageously optimistic year round. Booyah. I'm out.